Yo, what's up, Baltimore? It is the CoolB'more driver coming at you once again. It is the 24th of February at 12:45 a.m. Yes, I said 12:45 a.m. This is an early day for me. But I'm actually recapping the 23rd of February. So today was just an outstanding day. Like, rides in Baltimore were crazy. Now, I'm pretty sure it was due to two factors. One, the subway is closed. They're making renovations on the subway as far as the tracks. So, people can't get around via the subway like they used to or like they could. And two, it was raining today. So lots of outstanding rides, lots of surges today. So I started my day somewhere around 6 a.m. And by 4:30, and that's including an airport ride, actually including two airport rides. One was a short ride, so I ended up getting to go back to the airport and falling in the number one spot. And then I got a longer ride towards, not all the way into DC, but it was close to the College Park area. So let's say from 6 o'clock to about 4:30. And actually, I got a third ride that took me down to Annapolis. A nice ride, which was like a 60 plus. It wasn't really a 60 plus. It was more like 45-minute ride, about 40, maybe 38 miles, something like 38 to 40 miles. But anyway, between 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. to about 4:30 when I cut off that ride in Annapolis, I was at $160. And I took my lunch break and stuff like that. And, sat at the airport, like I said before. So at that time, I said, you know what, today's going to be a $200 day. And let me correct that. I was actually at $170. And I said, you know what, today's going to be a $200 day. I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to come back at night. So, I cut it off at 4:30. Got back on the road at 10:30. At 10:30, picked up 3 rides. Got me to my $200+ goal. So I ended up finishing off the night at $211 and about 57 cents. One in-app tip about $3. Who knows? Maybe somebody might tip me for tomorrow. But it goes back to what I was saying in one video. Don't rely on your tips to get you over your goals. Just go for your goals. And if people tip you, they tip you. Which leads me to another point. So as I said in a couple other videos, that I'm a member of a lot of Facebook pages when it comes to Baltimore and DC. And I see a lot of people complaining about customers not giving them tips. Here's the biggest thing about tips. One, a tip should be a surprise. A tip should be a surprise for rendering outstanding service. Okay? It should not be an expectation. If you're expecting to get a tip on every trip, you're not Ubering or lifting right then. If you're expecting every passenger to tip, let's look at it like this. Maybe a rider tips you right now, or tips you after you drop them off, but then they go take another Uber or Lyft and they don't tip that driver. You know why they don't tip that driver? Because they just got finished tipping you. So they can't afford to tip. And I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm just saying maybe that person can't afford to tip you because they just tipped another driver. Or maybe they have something else going on in their life that they can only afford to pay for the ride and nothing more. You don't know, or we don't know, another person's financial situation. So if somebody does not tip you, don't get mad and don't be petty and give them a bad rating or something like that. That's so petty. Don't do that. All right. Remember, ratings work both ways. You rate somebody bad, they're going to rate you bad. That's just how it is. All right. don't be petty, okay? If somebody tips you, celebrate the hell out of that victory. And then when the next person doesn't tip you, don't worry about it. Your tips will come. All right. But don't count on those tips to get you over your goal. If your goal is $135 and you're sitting at $125 and you're expecting a $10 tip to get you over, you're not Ubering right. You're not lifting right. You need to make that extra $10 on your own. All right. Without tips. I don't count on tips to make my goal. Not going to do it. Okay. So, here's a few things. So as I was driving in the city today, you know, I got another, you know, rider who, you know, came out, and it was around the time where, you know, kids were going to school and stuff. So I got a rider, you know, I went to her house to pick her up, and it was her and her 2 children. And one was probably old enough to ride without a car seat. All right. He was at least borderline, but she was carrying a baby. And, you know, I told her, I said, hey, can't take you. You know, it's either they're 4'9" or 8 years old. Can't take you. So she said, okay. I mean, she wasn't mean about it. She just said, okay. And so I pulled off, and she canceled the ride. I got my cancellation fee. And the crazy thing was, I was the closest Uber in her area. So she ended up calling me 2 more times and had to cancel, but she had canceled immediately. So after the second time, you know, she pinged me, I just went offline for about a minute, let her ping another Uber, and then I came back online. So yeah, it's a crazy day, but it was a good day. You know, I had another customer whose kids were of age to not ride in a car seat, hands down, just by looking at them alone. They were both over 4'9", so easy peasy, right? So, you know, one of the other things I wanted to talk about is, so I think I talked about in another video where I was dropping off a customer, and I just turned off my app, and a lady who was parked in front of me put her car in reverse and slammed right into the front bumper of my truck. Now, there was no external damage, but there's internal damage, which I'm still working on with my insurance company to get fixed. But so the consequences of that internal damage is that I lost one of my front license plates. And here's how you fix that. It's a simple thing. And I'm gonna explain the story how it happened to me. So I was coming from my fiance's house. I got home to Baltimore, and somewhere between PA and Baltimore, my front license plate fell off. So there's a precinct down the street from me, the Pikesville precinct number 4. I went in there and I talked to an officer, and, you know, I was being the honest guy, stand-up guy. Hey, you know, I lost it between PA and Baltimore. Well, the officer told me something very interesting, and that was that, they couldn't do anything because I didn't know whether, you know, it fell between, I possibly lost it between 2 different jurisdictions. So they couldn't do anything, which I thought was very interesting. I said, well, we don't know if it fell between 2 different jurisdictions, but we also don't know if I just lost it here in Baltimore. So he said, yeah, but you already said it. And, you know, of course they got the cameras rolling in there and stuff. So I get that part. So he said, unfortunately, it's a dumb, he even said he thought it was a dumb rule. But, you know, he said the only way you can do this is to contact the Pennsylvania State Police and see if they found your license plate, or get a police report from them to get my license plate replaced. So I said, screw all of that, no problem. So there was what I thought was a precinct up in Randallstown. It used to be an old Larry Chevrolet dealership, and the Baltimore County Police Department bought that, and they turned it into a maintenance shop for their vehicles. So I pulled up, and as I was walking in the building, a police officer was pulling off, and he asked me, he said, "Hey, what can I help you with?" And I told him the story, but I did not tell him that it was possibly lost in PA. So I just told him, "Hey, it's in Baltimore, and I lost it in Baltimore." So what he did, he said, in order for, just in case somebody gets the plate, finds the plate and tries to put it on their vehicle, he reported it as stolen. So he did a police report right for me on the spot and told me, he said, "Hey, if you get pulled over, show the officers this police report that you just did it today, and you're heading down to the DMV." So I called the DMV and asked them, because I have specialty plates on my truck for being in combat for the military. So, I called customer service, explained to them I got my police report. They said, "You can just go to the Reisterstown branch." And I said, "Hey, I have specialty plates, so can they do the specialty plates for me there?" And she said, "Yeah." She said, "You got the police report. Just to replace the 2 plates is only going to cost you $20. So I said, "Man, awesome." So I'm going over to the DMV in Reisterstown and thinking that, I'm going to replace my plates for $20 and I'll have my specialty plates. Well, I got over there, did my paperwork, and finally get called to get my plates. So the guy, he gives me my plates, does my new registration, and he says, "I noticed you have combat tags. You have the specialty plates." He said, "Unfortunately, we don't do those here." I said, "Are you kidding me? This is where they told me to come to." He said, "No, the only place that does specialty plates is on the second floor at the Glen Burnie DMV." So he said, "Look, I already issued you plates. And by the way, when you have a police report saying that your tags were stolen, your replacement tags are free. They are not $20 as they state on the website." And that's the registration. The new registration, of course, is included too. So I beat feet, and they did not charge me. They didn't charge me for these new plates. So now I have the old plate from the rear of my truck. Then I have 2 brand new plates. So I said, "Nope, I want my specialty tag." So I go all the way down to Glen Burnie, and I wasn't there that long. I think I was there maybe about an hour total. Get there, go to the second floor. They give me the specialty plates after a little work around with the supervisor, and Glen Burnie is awesome. I recommend anybody, if you got anything to do with the DMV and you live out in Pikesville or Owens Mills or something like that, go to Glen Burnie. Don't go down to Reisterstown branch. They're just disorganized. Glen Burnie was awesome. So I got down there after they figured out, how they could work it. They got my new specialty plates and gave me a new registration. And boom, I went and turned in the old rear plate and then the 2 brand new plates that they had given me. And I was on my way. Now, here's where, of course, if you get new plates, you get new registration. And if you drive in rideshare, guess what? You've got to not report it, but you've got to update your documents. So here's where it got funny. So around 4:30, probably about 5 o'clock, I upload my registration to Uber. Now, I've been driving Lyft too much. Lately, that's like I do like 1 or 2 rides to keep the account going, just like a backup. But about 5:30, I register. I update my registration with Lyft. In 2 minutes, Lyft come back and says, "Okay, your new registration is approved. You're good to go. You can drive." Now, mind you, I'm still waiting on Uber. Half an hour goes by. Boom, nothing. I'm like, seriously. So now Uber has, and I think they've had it for a couple months now, at least here in Baltimore. So now Uber has a feature where you can actually call someone at customer service and talk to them. So, and mind you, be prepared to talk to somebody who may not understand English so well. In my case, I got lucky. I got a nice young lady from the Philippines, and she helped me out. You know, she took a look at my documents, and you know, within a matter of maybe about 5 or 10 minutes, she went and clicked the approve button, and I was good to go. So, you know, just as a lesson, if that happens to you, or if that happens to anybody out here, just make sure that once you get your new license plate and you get your registration, that you immediately go ahead and update it, or else you're going to be, you know, your customers are going to cancel on you if you pull up with one license plate and the app is saying something else. But overall, you know, just getting back to my day, you know, another $200 day. That's, you know, that's right now is I'm looking at two $200 days in a row. That doesn't seem like a lot, but you know, I'm trying to push it a little bit more than I have. You know, like I said, my minimum before was 135. Most of the time I try to hit 150, and now I'm seeing that with the change in the weather and stuff like that, I'm hitting 200. So wow, what a great day. And I hope for those of you who are out there driving, your day was just as fruitful as mine's. And I also got a lot of my Get Cargo sales done today too. So for those of you who are interested in Get Cargo, hey, look, I'm going to post my website underneath this description, on the description of this video. I'm also going to post my referral link so you can get started. And I mean, I haven't met too many customers that'll turn down free stuff. All right. So, you know, get this. It's free for you. The refill, the restocks are free. All you got to do is just hand it out. They go to a website, plug in your box number, and you just hand it to them. And you get paid to do it. So it's a no-brainer. So you can make up to $300 extra a month. All right. And I did really well, you know, between referrals and actually selling things. I've done really well. In my first month, I made over $266 extra just from giving away free stuff, free samples, basically. So you know what? If you're interested, the like I said, the referral link will be in the description section of this video. And they're also on at least my last 3 videos that I made, maybe 4. On my website, www.CoolB'more. If you don't sign up through the link here, you can go on my website, and there's a button there that you can click on. It'll take you right to the sign up after you see what the program's all about. So it is an early night for me. I was done at 12:45 a.m. And I'm going in here and I'm going to pass out, and I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and I'm going to do this all over again. So everybody have a good night, good morning. Those of you who are still out there driving, you know, be safe, be aware of your surroundings, and, you know, get home safe to your loved ones. CoolB'more driver, I'm out of here.